Hi guys, this is Boomer for Caravel Gaming, and we are going to be continuing the expansion today, going on to Kamigawa. So let's see how the slivers do in the land of basically Japan and the gods.
On the far-flung plain of Kamigawa, you learn of a powerful samurai who possesses the scale of a white dragon. You must use all your skills to search Kamigawa, retrieve the scale, and move one step closer to completing the spell.
Okay, I just want to have a look at the Planeswalker duels. So I've already taken on Elspeth, and then I've got Dax, the Planeswalker at the end. I see. The final one's going to be Nissa Ravane. Okay, I see. Wow, it's a 5-person duel. I have to take on the Nezumi Swarm, which I guess is going to be black and ratty. Then Hidetsu's Wrath, Ninja Gang, Sword of the Samurai, and Lords of Darkness. Should be interesting. Let's go. Your first taste of Kamigawa is a mouthful of swamp water. Wonderful. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you see numerous hairy forms emerging from the hole of the muck. You have landed in a Nezumi lair, and the rat people are not pleased. 10 out of 40 cards unlocked. I guess I have to unlock a lot more cards in Dodge and Burn. 10 of them are unlocked because I've put in the passwords from, I believe it's packs, so I've already unlocked some of the cards, but that's going to take me a while to unlock all of those. Anyway, slivers, go! Not with this hand though. Or this hand. I'm playing first, aren't I? Get a forest I can draw out of it, but I think I can do better on 6. Not much better, but I can do better, so maybe should have laid Terramorphic there. I think I was a little bit quick. Probably should have laid Terramorphic and sacked Fetching a Mountain. What's he got for me? A Nat Miser. 1/1. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 1. That's fine. I've got 6 cards in hand. Yes. Okay, so we're going to Rampant Growth for a mountain. And then we're going to pass the turn. You see how that could be annoying if you were on the draw. In for 1, I guess. And does he have a 2-drop? He does, and it's Nezumi Cutthroat. 2 mana for a 2/1 with Fear, which means it can't be blocked except by black or artifact creatures, and it itself cannot block. Fear's quite useful against my deck because it means I can't block at all. And I think Thorncaster Sliver is about the best thing I potentially could have drawn. But let's make Blur Sliver. And then we are going to pass the turn. And next turn we're going to Thorncaster Sliver and wipe him. Really depends on what he plays this turn. He's going to attack with his Cutthroat, I imagine. Yep, because I can't block. And he ends his turn, okay. So let's make sure that we get the land we need from this. Otherwise it'll be a bit embarrassing. Okay, Plains, Thorncaster. And he has a removal spell, okay. He's going to murder my Thorncaster would be my guess, yep. That's unfortunate. I'm still going to attack because there's no point not doing. One problem with the Sliver deck is that if you are able to break its synergy, its creatures are a little bit lackluster. Okay, no blocks, and he comes in for 3. And he has Locust Miser, which is 2 black for a 2/2, and each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 2. So my maximum hand size is now 4 with his 2 guys on the play. Fiery Justice would be appreciated. Ugh, not another land, God. Okay, let's make Blur Sliver. Probably shouldn't have made that before attacks. I'm just going to nibble for 2. Just offer him the trade if he wants it. Yeah, fine. Again, there's no point having 2 Blur Slivers on the battlefield, and I do reduce his number of things he can do. So let's get another planes and say go. Okay, he's in with the fear guy. Okay, let's continue and end. Wow. Skip the attack. Really need to see something quickly. Why is that Nezumi Cutthroat? I've got 3 paths, 3 shocks, 2 Fiery Justice, another Thorncaster Sliver. Wow, 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 wow. Inkai's Servant of Own. Ninjutsu, he could have actually put this into play a couple of turns ago. Whenever it deals combat damage to player, you may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under our control, and it has Regenerate. So basically, unless I draw Fiery Justice or Path to Exile, I am very, very dead. Yeah, so next turn he gets to put Thorncaster Sliver in under his control. I think we are pretty dead. Pretty much drawn 10 land here, which isn't great. I think I have one more turn before it becomes completely lethal and I can't do anything about it. Yep, sure. I drawn 10 land, 4 spells. Yeah, I'm not winning on that. So he gets a Thorncaster. And then a Nezumi Ronin. This thing has Bushido, which means whenever it gets into combat it gets plus, in this case, 1/1. There are creatures which have bigger Bushido numbers. I don't think even Fiery Justice can save me now because that Inkais can regenerate. Yeah, we're done. So we'll concede the duel. I don't think there's a lot in my sideboard that actually will help me here. Don't know why the Planeswalker thing's going off. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot in my sideboard that can actually help me, but let's have a look. So let's manage the deck. And really, I just think that was a crap draw rather than anything else. I think I might bring in the extra Thorncaster because all his guys are little and bad. Inferno doesn't do anything. Unflinching Courage is a possibility. Faith's Fetters for his Inkais maybe. Striking Sliver because we're going to get into combat. And that's probably about it. So maybe a couple of Faith's Fetters for his guys. Are they better than what other things in my deck? Oop, come back. See here. Fiery Justice is obviously insane. Mirror Entity I'm just not impressed by. Shock and Path are both great. I think maybe we take out 1 Hive Stirrings, 1 Battle Sliver because I brought in the 5s, and we take out all the Battle Slivers. I think we probably do, and then just bring in 2 Faith's Fetters for for like his Inkai, so we've got a bit more removal. Yeah, that seems okay, so let's do that. Oops. I'm back to the oh sorry, that's Kaldheim. I want the expansion campaign. And we are in Kamigawa. Okay.
On the far flung...
And we're going to go back in against the Nezumi swarm at this point. To be honest, I'm not too sure how necessary sideboarding here is. We basically just mulliganed to 6 and then drew 10 land, 4 spells, so I'm not really too upset. This hand is asking for it, but I think it's okay. I'm going to keep it because it's got... well, basically because it's got lands and spell. I think that this is... I'm not too sure about this. I do have a removal spell though, and hopefully we can draw into something because we do have all our colours of mana. Okay, makes the Nat Miser. Not really too upset about that. Striking Sliver's a great draw. Yeah, I'm just going to make it. Just means he pretty much can't attack now. And also, Inkai's is only a 5/4, so if I've got enough first strike on the board, then he can't actually attack through my burst strike because he'll have to regenerate before he gets to deal damage. Okay, Nezumi Cutthroat. Hive Stirring's another good draw. At this point I think I'm just going to Rampant Growth and kill his Nezumi Cutthroat. That will allow me to, that will buy me a few turns, and yeah, I'll attack with the Striking Sliver, get some damage in early. I'm the beatdown here. So I'm looking to find a couple of slivers just for a bit of synergy and then a path to exile. Yep, he attacks for 1. I know he's probably got access to murder in his deck, so my Striking Sliver may not be long for this world. Make Hive Stirrings. Again, I don't want to run this Thorncaster Sliver into a murder. I want it to have at least some impact on the board. And again, if I can get another sliver between now and the time he makes Inkais, it basically means that I can Thorncaster his Inkais off the table. And because he's not got a Fear guy, he can't make Inkais either. Okay, that's really good for me. It means I just wipe out both of his guys. Another Striking Sliver. I think I just make both my slivers here. Admittedly, it's not great because if he kills Thorncaster, that means that his Inkais gets to come in unchallenged. But I don't really think I've got too much of an option here. I've got to start attacking him, and also this means he can't do any stupid things with ninjutsu or anything like that. So there we go, my guys get in for 3. And now if he murders my Thorncaster, Inkais can't attack because I've got 4 guys with first strike on defense, so at least Inkais won't be able to do me too much damage in the short term. Okay, makes his 5th land. I am on no cards though now, so that's not great. That's a really good draw. He's going to murder my Thorncaster Sliver, I take it. Yep. Makes absolute sense, but now I have 10 power of first strike on the board, so that early damage that I've snuck in is now going to tell, because even if he makes Inkais, I'm going to win. Because at least one of my guys, because he can only block one of my guys. So he makes Nezumi Ronin, which is his 3-1 with Bushido. Again, not relevant. Makes a land. Well, GG, I guess. That was a bit of a draw, shall we say. Yep, you block that. So Bushido will make it a 4-2, you can see it in action there, and the first strike is going to kill him. So yeah, that one was probably more my deck playing up rather than the matchup actually being difficult, but Inkai's is a fairly unique card to have for sure. And I'm just going to reset the deck to its original configuration that it was before. So I had the one mirror entity, and I only had one striking sliver. Let's just have a look here. Hive Stirring's back in, both battle slivers back in, one Thorncaster out, and two Faith's Fetters, and I think that's it. Yep. Okay, back we go, and back into the campaign. Yep, we're on Kamigawa.
On the far-flung plain of Kamigawa,
and we're up against Hidetsu's Wrath. You move into the mountains where you see stone stairs leading to an ominously large cave. This is the rumoured lair of the fearsome ogre-turned-oni Hidetsugu. Tales of this demon are grim at best. You'll find an important clue or a certain death. Okay. I have the Hive to protect me, assuming they don't all hide in my deck. I would prefer if I had a mountain in this hand or a rampant growth, but I think it's okay, so we'll keep it. The thing I might want to have to do in this game is stay off 10 life, because there's a card called Hidetsu's Second Right, which is deal 10 damage to your opponent if he's on 10 life. So that would certainly be something to watch out for. Do I make my Predatory Sliver? And amazingly, against what appears to be a red deck, it survives first turn. It's probably going to die this turn. Yep, hammered. It's going to be another one of these games, is it? I make a guy and it dies on multiple occasions. Yeah, not great. Really need to see a mountain. The disadvantage of playing 3-colour decks when you have absolutely no fixing in your deck. Okay, let's leave up Path to Exile and make a 2-3. If he kills it, I am actually going to path it myself, just so that I can get a mountain. And he doesn't. God, what's he got in his hand? I'm making Megantic Sliver if I draw a land, so I can't say I'm frightened to death, but it's really weird what he could have in hand. Okay, 5th land, what do you got? He has Heartless Hidetsugu, and yeah, he can half the player's life total rounded down. So I think I know where this is going, so I am going to actually kill it now. Because I have an idea where that is going, and it's not where I want it to be. Okay, I raw dog like a champ, and we're going to make Megantic Sliver now. And attack for 6. Sorry, for 5. And next turn we attack for lethal. So let's see what he's got for us. Yeah, I'm thinking he has Hidetsu's Second Right or something like that. This is the one advantage you kind of get from playing the game as long as I as long as I have, and certainly as long as Ribbo have, you sometimes get a bit of a sense as to what happened. Wow, Inferno! Seriously? Wow. Did not expect that. So that's another computer opponent who has survived a Megantic Sliver. Not many do that. Go, my 1-1. Well, now I could be in a lot of trouble. Yamabushi's frame deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Wow, he's going for me. I think he's just going to burn me out. So maybe that's what Hidetsugu's in the deck for. Disintegrate me for 8. Okay, puts me on 3. Things were looking good. They're looking a bit bleak now. Well, this is the best I can do, so if he's got the damage spell to kill me next turn, he's got it. And he does, so we are dead. So we are going to head to the sideboard. Failed. Okay, let's go to the deck manager. And this is where there are no creatures in his deck, so we don't want Striking Sliver. Shock is also pretty bad. He does have Path to Exile, but yeah, it's not the best. Mirror Entity is awful against red decks. Fiery Justice is also bad. So what do we want to bring in? I'm tempted to bring in Geddon just because all this stuff seems to be like really expensive. Thorncaster Sliver doesn't seem very good against him either. Okay, let's bring in the Geddons for now and then we'll see what else we can bring in. What does Wild Pair do? No. Definitely want the Unflinching Courages, definitely want the Faith's Fetters. I think that does it. I mean, Faith's Fetters I will literally just throw on a land so that I can gain some life if I have to. Expansion campaign. That might not have been enough sideboarding, we might have to do more. But it doesn't look like he's got Earthquake like that deck that I lost to on multiple occasions did. Keep this, because it's turn 2 Predatory Sliver, turn 3 Unflinching Courage. Or turn 3... Do I make Steel Forms? No. I go Predatory into Steel Form into Unflinching Courage. If he has Volcanic Hammer, he has Volcanic Hammer, go him. But if I get a couple of hits in with Unflinching Courage, things start looking very good for me. Okay, he's got the Volcanic Hammer, so there goes my Predatory Sliver. Battle Sliver. Don't kill it, don't kill it. Please don't kill it. And he doesn't kill it. Excellent. Another Steel Form Sliver. Well, considering I... Oh, you bastard. Considering I didn't draw a land. Oh. Yeah, got greedy. Should have made Steel Form. Ugh, idiot. I mean, so though, he can still have Char or something like that, so... And of course I missed my land drops. Yeah. Probably should have made steel form, second steel form first. I mean, admittedly he still burns it, but I don't lose my unflinching courage that way. And now he's going to get to Inferno, so this is really not where I want to be. I'm gonna path his guy anyway because he just taps and deals me 10, and that's not what I want him to be able to do. But seriously, this is sucking not hitting mana here. And this turn he has Inferno up as well, which just makes things even worse. Yeah. Yep, still can't draw a fifth land. And he does cast Inferno, so I'm going to stop the timer and I'm going to path to exile my own guy so that I can go and get my fifth land. That's rather sad that that's the first damage I've dealt to him in this game, but... Okay, Battle Sliver number 1. What I've got to do is make him cast his removal spells at my slivers. Because if he can just throw it all at me, then he's just going to kill me. So he does disintegrate the Battle Sliver. Okay, so that's one of his big removal spells down. Of course. 5/3. Now, is he going to use a removal spell on this? Yes or yes, he is. So he removes my Battle Sliver as well. So he's only got one card left in hand. So my life total of 14 should be okay. Although that said, it could just be another disintegrate, at which point I'm going to die in flames. Nothing so far. I'm going to attack first before playing Hive Stirrings. Just make schmoes. Seems to be drawing a lot of land. Still got to survive for 2 more turns, and I'm a little bit worried because he's got 12 land there, so 14 might just be okay. Well, it looks like he's the one on the flood at the moment. Yep, and this game has turned into a cripple fight, as both of us just do nothing but draw land. It might just be a case where the red deck is stacked to a degree that as long as you survive a certain, as long as you survive his initial spells, the thing he's going to do for the rest of the game is draw land, and that looks to pretty much be what's happening here. Which is a good job, because I'm not exactly drawing well either. I've not got that many land left. Well, let's see if he does have that removal spell in hand to stay alive another turn. He does not, so we have managed to somehow get through this. Okay, I think the computer played that fairly poorly. He could have just aimed those disintegrates straight at me, and I don't think there's a lot I could have done about it. If I'd have drawn a Faith's Fetters, I would have been out of the way, but, you know, there's not really... I don't really think that there was any point killing my 5/3 when I was way behind basically in terms of the amount of damage output I had. Okay, so just putting the deck back, let's get rid of the Unflinching Courages, get rid of the Faith's Fetters, get rid of the Armageddons, and I boarded in an extra battle sliver, didn't I? Okay. So we are reset, and so far I've lost to each of the decks that I've been up against, so... I do have to admit though, this deck is not good at playing against red decks. So I'm against ninjas now. Proving yourself against Hidetsugu has led to the ancient Oni to reward you with the location of a scale from the legendary spirit dragon Yosei. The bad news, it is the prized possession of a powerful daimyo, a feudal samurai lord. It's time for story time with Boomer. Yosei is the card which... well no, Code of Calling's the card which cost me pretty much $3,000 at a national tournament in 2006. However, that Code of Calling went and got Yosei. So I have a bit of a grudge against Yosei. And because of Yosei popping out of my opponent's deck, my Moloku died, and... in what was essentially a $3,000 anti-match, because I'm pretty sure I would have won the final, I ended up losing and not winning national championships. Too many white cards in my hand, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to draw a new hand, especially since you get a free mulligan. This is similar, but at least it's got a predatory sliver in it, so I'm going to keep the hand, and that was the wrong land to play. I should have laid a mountain, so I've got shock up. Especially since I'm up against ninjas. He's going to make a turn 1 drop, and I'm going to look really bad now. Yep. This is unsurprising because there's an ability called ninjutsu, which means you can put the card into play if a creature is attacking and not blocked. So yeah, I've actually screwed myself over badly here because I have to shock this, otherwise he's going to put in some horrible ninja on me. So I have actually lost, I've lost a turn's worth of tempo due to laying the wrong land on turn 1. And he lays Skull Snatcher, which is a 2/1 for 2. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 2 target cards from that player's graveyard. Not a big deal, it's just a 2/1. Blur Sliver, okay. Okay, I'll make Predatory Sliver. I'm trying to think how much some of the more nasty ninjas are, and Ninja of the Deep Hours is 2, which is okay, but it's like the really nasty ones like Throat Slitter, I think. No, Throat Slitter's 3. I know Throat Slitter's definitely 3. Is he going to attack? I think he has to, right? Yeah. So if he has Throat Slitter, I lose the Predatory Sliver and then I'm on the back foot for it. Yeah, I've just got to block. Just keep his guys off the board so he doesn't have the ability to ninja in anything. Shock's a really good draw, but Blur Sliver is also quite good. I'm really regretting not having that shock now. So yep, in for 2. Yeah, just so those of you who don't know how ninjutsu works, let's just put more info. Known as ninjutsu. After one of your creatures attacks and your opponent doesn't block it, you can reveal a card with ninjutsu from your hand, pay its ninjutsu cost, and return your unblocked creature to its owner's hand. Then you put the creature with ninjutsu onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. So you literally just change the creature that's attacking and unblocked from whatever it is to the creature that has ninjutsu. That's Ninja of the Deep Powers, one of the better ninjutsu creatures. It's 4 mana for a 2-2, which is extremely unimpressive. However, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card, and it has ninjutsu 1 and a blue. So if that Skull Catcher was attacking and unblocked, he could pay 1 colourless and a blue and put this in a tapped and attacking, which would mean that it would deal damage and he'd get to draw a card. In this case, he has to pay 4 for it because I've blocked everything, so I'm not letting him ninja anything in. Oh, could really do with drawing a land here. I'm going to make Striking Sliver and say go. Just means that he can't attack with his Ninja of the Deep Powers. I'm going to win the long game here, I think. Especially if he's completely reliant on ninjutsu, so I know how to play around the... I know how to play around it. And he makes Blinding Powder, which is a 1 casting cost artifact. Unattach it, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this creature this turn, equip 2. That's actually fairly good. Is it that would be dealt to it, or dealt to and by it? To it. So he really should have just played that, yeah. Thank God. Right. So before he gets to do anything horrible with that, actually no, let's not do that. I'm going to cancel that. Going to cast Hive Stirrings. And I'm going to hold up Shock because I want him to waste his... I'll attack with this. I want him to waste his turn equipping this. He's not equipping it, okay. But he can't attack either because of the... Okibagang Shinobi, 5 mana for a 3-2 with ninjutsu 4. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. Again, you can see how the ninjas basically just get put in and then deal really bad like damage effects. But because I've made it so that they're unable to do so, this thing just literally has to sit in play. Can't decide which one to kill. I think I'm going to kill Ninja of the Deep Powers. The Akiba-gang Shinobi I don't really care about because I'll have creatures out of my hand very shortly anyway. So let's make Mirror Entity. And I'm going to attack with this dude. And next turn I have an army of 5/5s attacking. Let's just see. Yeah, he really should be using this to try and sneak through. Nodachi. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has first strike. So yep, that's going to cause a little bit of a mess. It was quite good in Kamigawa Limited, that. Gonna make his guy 6/2 first striker. If he does, I'm just gonna take it because the battle sliver doesn't matter. I'm just gonna bloat my guys to ridiculous proportions next turn. Yeah, you can't attack. I mean, you can, but it's suicide. What is that last card in your hand? Okay, he's equipping. Does nothing. And he makes Mistblade Shinobi. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand. Whoa, was I lucky this didn't come in, otherwise I could have been locked. Okay, that's end of turn. He's on 14, so I just blow all my guys to 5/5s next turn and win. So, yep, let's activate that. Make a planes. Oh wow, wow. This is just combat damage, yeah? Yeah. No, I just win, don't I? Rather than being sadistic, I'm just gonna win. Because being sadistic is a little bit too much. There we go. And that is GG. So we've managed to beat the ninja deck first time round at least. I beat a deck first time round. Yep. And that's GG. Okay, so we're now up against Sword of the Samurai. Oh, I get to unlock a new deck if I fight against this guy as well. Okay. Smallish creatures, pretty fast, good synergy. And he's red-white. Okay, this could be a bit difficult. But let's get going. Currently, what, 3 and 2 in duels? Not doing so well. The Lord of the Samurai clan stands before you. Behind him looms the fortress where the scale of the white dragon is jealously guarded. You have travelled far to lose your head, the samurai says, drawing his sword. It's not nice. A couple of removal spells and a blur sliver and all 3 colours of our mana. I'm going to keep this. It is admittedly a little slow, but I'm okay with that. I'm actually going to lay the mountain first because I want to have tempo open. This Terramorphic Expanse puts me behind on a couple of turns just because of the land coming into play tapped, so I'd rather have the shock open. Okay. What does he have for me? He has Aruba Moth Rider, which is a 1-1 with flying and Bushido 1. That is fine. Okay, I'm going to lay a planes just in case he makes something a lot more impressive. But I really don't feel like using my shock on this, it'd just be burning it. Quite happy to take 1 on a couple of occasions. I'm pretty sure he can make something that's a lot more threatening. Okay, in for 1. I definitely get the feeling that in this matchup I'm probably going to be more of a control deck. Oathkeeper, Takino's Daisho. Equipped creature gets +3/+1. Whenever it dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control if it's a samurai. When this is put into a graveyard from play, exile equipped creature. Wow, that's quite good. But again, it's possible he could blow his whole turn on this, so I am going to actually, at this point, because I'm not going to play the Blur Sliver, I'm going to use this moment to hold up Terramorphic Expanse. Because I don't intend to play a 3-drop, and if I want to play a 3-drop, I want to have mana open. Okay, stop the timer when he tries to equip, and shock his guy. Continue. Yeah, that's going to be a major pain. And he makes Nadachi, which is another equipment, gets +2/+0 and first strike. We saw that in the ninjutsu. But it's okay at the moment because he's only got 3 cards left in hand, and he doesn't have... I'm going to get a white mana here. And he doesn't have any creature in place, so I am okay with how things are going at the moment. Okay, that changes a couple of things. I think the play is Blur Sliver, leaving up Path to Exile. just a little bit more efficient with my mana, and it means I can drop 2 guys next turn. And I still have my Path to Exile. Really, this now is about trying to maintain a dominant board position. Because we know that he can create one really big creature, but the question is, can he actually, can he create enough for me to really care? He plays Battle Mad Ronin, which is a 1-1 with Bushido 2, and it attacks each turn if able. So that's okay. If he goes to equip it once again, so he does go to equip it. Yeah, I'm going to Path to Exile it. Again, just make him use all his mana, and this means that I can come over the top next turn. That's a great draw, because this only boosts toughness by 1, and this reduces, this just gives first strike, so it really depends which one he equips, to tell you the truth. But at this point I'm just going to go Striking Sliver and Predatory Sliver. And that means I can now attack for 7. So again, really just all about trying to maintain my board presence. Nothing, really. Oh, during end of turn, he's going to Lightning Helix, I guess, my Predatory Sliver. Yep. Lightning Helix deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and he gains 3 life. Which again is fine. It's not a guy who's being equipped by all his, like, ridiculous enchantments, and he now only has 1 card in hand. Hive Stirrings is just better in terms of overall damage, because of if I get Battle Sliver next turn I get more power on the board. So just attack with those guys for 5, put him back down to 9. I think we just pray for a land pretty much next turn. So if he equips this, it's not really worth it to kill his guy. And he has Takeno, Samurai General, which is 6 mana for a 3/3 with Bushido 2, and each other samurai creature he controls gets +1/+1 for each point of Bushido it has. So yeah, he is a 3. He's going to be a 5/5 when he blocks something. And in fact, yeah, I think it's worth it to Fiery Justice that. So it slows down my clock a little, but I really don't want that on the board. And attack with all. Put him down to 7. So again, we're still praying for a land pretty much here. A land will allow us to end the game pretty much immediately. What does he have for us now? He has Kitsune Blade Master, which is a 3 mana, 2/2 with First Strike and Bushido 1. Used to be incredibly good in Champions of Kamigawa Limited. And he's going to attach the dumb Oathkeeper. So he's got a 5/3 First Strike, but again, this isn't, and he makes a second no dachi, again, not an issue. So this is all about whether I draw a land this turn. If I don't, I just have to whittle him down. I think that kills him. So he blocks Blur Sliver, takes 8. Yeah, so he's dead. So we got there, even though we never saw our 5th land, we did get there. See Bushido activating on his dude there. But that kills him, and we get to move on. I am a champion of Kamigawa. And I get the Sword of the Samurai deck, and I unlock this achievement. Okay, so let's go on, because there was one more fight to go. claim the white dragon scale for my spell. Why do I get the feeling this is going to go really badly wrong? Lords of Darkness. Let's do it. Creature size monstrous, deck speed slow, deck flexibility not much, and not much synergy. Reanimator deck maybe? Feels like demons. So you wish to take my blood, puny fleshling, the demon says, rising up from a pick of wailing corpses. Let's see how you are. Try flay the skin off your bones. Wow. Yeah, so this is the demon we're going to have to kill to make ourselves immortal or whatever. I'm going to keep this hand. It's fairly fast, so hopefully we can do something. Let's see what he's got. Festering Goblin. When it dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Well, that's going to be rather annoying because it means our first strike sliver here is probably for the scrap heap. But still going to make it. Because it is simply a guy. I'm guessing this is going to be rough, certainly game 1. Okay, he attacks for 1. I'm going to skip blocking. Just take the 1. And he makes Foul Imp, which is a 2/2 flyer for 2, and when it comes into play he loses 2 life. So he's actually come out of the blocks quite quickly here for a demon deck. Shock's a really good draw. I think that might change my plan a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to make Terramorphic Expanse, and I'm going to shock his 2/2. And I'm going to sacrifice the Terramorphic Expanse for a Plains. And then this means I can curve into Blur Sliver and Boneside Sliver. Because at the moment Boneside Sliver isn't really going to help me too much. So let's attack, because I'm obviously not blocking, because I'd lose my Striking Sliver anyway. And he's on 17. Okay, I'm going to take another 1. And he ends his turn. So we could be looking at some form of removal spell for sure, but at the moment we don't really have much choice except to play into it. So I'm going to make Blur Sliver. And attack with all. I mean, obviously if he doesn't have a removal spell, then this Boneside Sliver is going to absolutely clean him up, but I'm not really going to be that optimistic considering we're up against what is pretty much the final boss. Might have Mutilate or something similar. Okay, he comes in for 1. And he ends his turn. Interesting. Well, to be honest, I don't think I've got any recourse here except to go for it. So I'm going to make Boneside Sliver and see if he's got something. My guess is he does, but if he doesn't, then we've clattered him for 10. And he does have something. He has Tendrils of Corruption, which I was kind of figuring. Deals X damage to target creature, and you gain X life, where X is the number of swamps he controls. So he deals 4 to this, and he gains 4 as well, which is pretty annoying. But it was something I had to expect there, really. And now we're getting to the mid to late game, which means I'm getting a little bit worried because things could start spiraling very badly out of control now. And he makes Blood Gift Demon. At the beginning of his upkeep, target player draws a card and loses 1 life for a 5/4. That is quite powerful. But we also have something of our own that's quite powerful. Not land, Thorncaster Sliver. So I'm going to attack with all, and I'm going to shoot his demon, which means that if he blocks, it goes to the bin. Yeah, we are literally now in a race. I think it's one I'm probably going to lose. So dealing 5. He chooses to draw a card and pay 1 life. I always love these sort of cards, the pay 1 life to draw a card during your upkeep, Phyrexian Arena cards like that. Just awesome, awesome cards. Yeah, he feels very confident. This isn't going to end well for me. And to be honest, I honestly don't know what I've got in the sideboard, apart from maybe something like Armageddon. And he makes Renegade Demon, a 5 mana 5/3. That's not very impressive. Oh, that's really not what we wanted to see. I really wanted to see some pressure. Gonna get a second planes. Yeah, that's really not great. But attack with all and shoot his 5/3. And then we are literally in a case where we just have to see what is on top of his deck. I mean, he is playing bad cards at least. If he can't kill my guys, he might actually make me draw a card, otherwise he loses on attack to me. So he does have... Yeah, he's drawing, so maybe he has to draw something. And then he is telling me to sack a creature. I will sacrifice my first strike sliver, because it's going to die to the Festering Goblin anyway. Onyx Mage, so he can give his guys Death Touch, that's not a problem. And he's going to stay on D, is he? He's attacking with his 5/4, that seems really bad. He's just died. Unless he has a removal spell in hand, he has just died. Well, I'm going to make Predatory Sliver. So let's see if he has that removal spell in hand. If he doesn't, he loses. And he doesn't, so we're going to shoot him for 3. And that will be that. Got your blood, and that will be the end of that. And I achieved Demon Slayer, and have unlocked his Lords of Darkness deck. That's a funny picture. How does this end? Is that it now? Or is there anything left afterwards? Nope, that is it. It is simply, we now have the Vial of Immortality. It's apparently ended well for us. You begin to siphon the demon's blood. After gathering enough, you are now ready to cast a spell to slow your aging to a crawl. This picture is from Sign in Blood. Of course, these packs with demons go so well. Let's see how it goes. I have unlocked the Revenge campaign. So for those of you who don't know, the normal campaign is against the decks which are pretty much their basic 60 card layout. When you're in the Revenge campaign, the decks are fully unlocked, so you're up against the full power of the deck you're up against. And in fact, I will run through the Revenge campaign, but I'm not going to do it with slivers, because it would just simply be doing the same thing over and over again. The deck I am going to run through it with is going to be a child's deck, pretty much, but at least it is quite funny to watch. So let's OK. And if you have a look here, we have the Planeswalker duels, who we have... although Nissa Revane, do we have to... It looks like we actually have to fight Nissa, because there's no... Oh, so we do have one more duel, it looks like. We have to fight Nissa Revane to unlock her deck. Let's do that. Yep. Oh, actually I have to unlock them all, do I? Just because of the... Oh, because I had to complete the chapters. Oh, I see. Okay, I will do all 3 planeswalkers. No, I've already taken on 2 of them, haven't I? Okay, right, I will do Nissa in this video. And I'll do all the other planeswalkers next time. So, final duel for the Sliver deck here. Oh no, I've got the original planeswalkers to go through, but apart from that... Good hand. Good hand. Let's keep this one. And I will play the wrong land. Okay, fair enough. I was so convinced on holding up shock there that it was like, how about actually making a predatory sliver turn 2? I'm terrible at making my lands, just not thinking through things. I'm too used to having lands which tap for 2 colours of mana. Anyway, make Terramorphic Expanse, say go. I think I've played this game enough now that I can try and avoid misclicks. Elvish Warrior to make my shock even worse. Nissa's Chosen, a 2-3, yeah, fair enough. If it would die, put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Okay. Activate this. Get myself a forest. And whinge that I'm 2 turns behind now. So make Predatory Sliver and make sure to hold up the shock in case she plays anything that's worth killing now. Double Predatory Sliver starts are so good against the decks which don't have removal. I'm not too convinced how much removal Nissa actually has. Okay, she's coming in for 2. I'm going to skip blocking because there is absolutely no point in blocking. What do you have on 3? She has another Nissa's Chosen. Oh, is this what I'm going to be up against? She's just going to make Nissa's Chosens every single turn. 4th land is a good thing. I could make Blur Sliver and hold up shock, but I think... Actually, that might be good, because that means next turn I can make Predatory Blur and attack for 1,000,000, or Predatory Hive Stirrings. Yeah, okay. I will make Blur Sliver and hold up shock. And also, Blur Sliver's a 3-3, which is what I would be looking to make with Predatory Sliver anyway, so I think this is a better idea overall. I'm just going to stick on D because once again, Slivers are the deck that once they get into the mid game I'm going to have 10 million 5/5s in play, so it's really not worth her anything. Timberwatch Elf, yeah, that's dying. Tap type creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. As you can tell, all of these creatures are elves. So yeah, Timberwatch Elf is dying. So we get to use our shock. If she had something like a giant growth there, I would have been sad. Oh, rampant growth's unfortunate. I think I just make Hive Stirrings and say go. And I will skip attack because once again, Slivers are all about synergy and build up, so there's really no point in me throwing any of my Slivers to the wind here. Let's see what she has this turn. She has Sylvan Messenger, which is a 4-mana 2/2. When it comes into play, reveals the top 4 cards of her library and put all elves revealed this way into her hand. The Goblin one, called Goblin Ringleader, is the one that you're probably most familiar with as part of that cycle. And she gets an Immaculate Magistrate and another Sylvan Messenger, so she draws 2. Not too bad, but I could really do with another land at this point. Okay, Predatory Sliver it is. I think I just have to start attacking now, because the more and more I get choked on resources, the more she's going to gain advantage. Imagine she'll double block the 4/4 with her 2/3s. Yep. Well, that's okay. I've got a backup one in hand. And if I could draw my 5th land and rampant growth out of it, I'd feel a lot better. Still can't attack with either of her creatures. Yep, makes another messenger. So drawing a lot of cards at this point. She draws Caller of the Claw, which is really good. Essence Warden. Yeah, this is not looking good for me at the moment. Really need to see a 5th land and then some big sliver. Okay, so I've got the 5th land. That's good. So let's cast Blur Sliver. She's going to gain 1 life. And then let's Rampant Growth. So that means that I have access to Megantic Sliver should it fall off the top. And I think same again. I don't want to risk my Poetry Slivers because again that's how I'm going to win this. So again I'm just going to attack my guy. If she wants to double block, by all means. I will kill the Nissa's Chosen. I'm not really that bothered about the Essence Warden. I just want to get her guys off the board. I will happily trade what is essentially 1 card in the little slivers for 2 cards. And she is losing life at this point. Heedless One. An XX with Trample for 4 that has power and toughness equal to the number of elves on the battlefield. Fiery Justice would also be an acceptable top deck at this point. And she now has Caller of the Claw up as well, but she's not using it. Durangan Wallcaller, I really wish I could click on that and it'd stop lightning in a way. It has Kicker. It's 1 mana for a 2/2 with Kicker, and it comes into play with a 1/1 for each time it was kicked, and other elf creatures get +1/+1 for each counter on it, so that's a real booster. So now I need a Fiery Justice, basically. Let's take 3. I need a Fiery Justice or a Path to Exile. And yeah, this is where I'm going to draw 4 land in a row off the top of my deck, obviously. If I attack with everything, what happens here? She eats a Blur Sliver. And then she can double block, but that would yeah, I'm actually going to attack with my 2 Blur Slivers. Yeah, she eats 1 of them, but still takes 4. I probably should have attacked with everything there, thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, this is going to get out of hand now. It's like my draw's just been incredibly clunky. Yep. I basically have to win. I have to top deck Fiery Justice this turn, otherwise this game is over. Yep. A Megantic Sliver would probably also do it because I could at least beat through all his guys. Fine, he attacks me for 10. So Path to Exile would at least... I don't think that would keep me in it. Nope, drawn another land, obviously. So we are going to concede. And I am going to head towards the sideboard. I mean, admittedly, that was mainly just due to a really sort of... admittedly, that was due to like an incredibly clunky draw, but... I'm pretty sure there are other things we can do with our deck. I think our deck's fairly well set up for this matchup, but there are probably other things I can do. Like Mirror Entity, I don't think she has any outs for, so I think that's fine. Geddon isn't very good. Thorncaster Sliver's amazing, so I will keep that. Inferno. Inferno's a possibility for sure. Lifeline, no. Coat of Arms, definitely not. Faith Fetters, I don't think so. Striking Sliver again, maybe, because First Strike might be a really big thing. Don't want Cultivate. Don't want trample, don't want sliver construct. Okay, let's see here. I mean, all my stuff's quite good. It was just the fact I didn't draw anything that was... It was like I somehow managed to draw very little in a draw that had double predatory sliver start. It's just one of those where it looked really good and then it just went absolutely nowhere. I don't think steel forms are that important, just because I have... yeah, it's basically I need to draw Fiery Justice, isn't it? Or like, I need a heavy removal draw. Okay, back to the campaign. Kamigawa was the last place, I think.
On the far flung...
And Planeswalker duels, and let's fight Nissa, because I want your deck. Right, let's start the duel. She does have a lot of creatures that are potentially very, very nerve-wracking. I have a Fiery Justice, but this is so... I can't cast anything in my hand, so I'm going to draw a new hand. That's okay, but I mean, she's playing first. I really don't know if this is very good. Oh, she's got a 1-drop as well. Awesome. Glade Cover Scout. 1/1 with hexproof, meaning I can't target it. And those of you who may have heard me rant about Magic before know that I absolutely detest hexproof as a mechanic. So I just think that it's horrifically lazy design and I really don't like it. I mean, I've got a pretty good curve here. I've got striking into predatory into blur, but it really depends if that's enough. Oh, she's got no 2-drop, so that's good news for me. So okay, we'll make Predator Sliver. And we'll attack with our striking sliver, probably directly into a giant growth or something similar from our opponent. Nope, no blocks. So she takes 2. Good start. Depending on what she has next turn, I can come crashing in with Blur Sliver, or we can decide what we want to do. If she has Timberwatch Elf, I basically have to race. And yeah, that's Timberwatch Elf, so not great. And I can't target her 1/1. This is really annoying. Hive Stirrings is a decent draw. It means I can just flood the battlefield. But I think the play for this turn is Blur Sliver. And because all my guys have first strike, attack with them all. And she takes 7. So we're doing okay in the damage race here. Really just depends what she has on turn 4. Oh, she's just using it main phase, I see. That seems really bad. And she's not even attack. Yeah, that's just a horrible glitch. That is just a really, really terrible glitch that this game must have. That needs reprogramming quite quickly. Make 2 more 2/2s. But I'm not going to complain. I'm going to get to unlock the deck thanks to my opponent being completely terrible at Magic. And he's going to throw away his hexproof guy as well. Take 8, go down to 3. And that's going to make his Timberwatch Elf less effective as well. So overall, he's just completely crap the bed on this one. Oh, he's made something which is crapping my computer out. Caller of the Claw, in foil no less. 2/2 with flash for 3. When it enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 green bear token into play for each non-token creature put into your graveyard this turn. This was meant as an anti-Wrath of God card for elf decks. So he gets to put in 4 power at the end of turn. That is fine. It doesn't really do anything. I don't even know what land I want at this point, so I'm going to get a Plains. Yeah, for some reason, foils on this game really cause slowdown. I don't know why. And there's his bear. 2/2 bear. You're on 3 life. What are you doing? Okay, casts a 2/2. It has cycling, which means he can discard it and draw a card, and then whenever he cycles it, elf creatures get +2/+2 until end of turn. Obviously that's not going to do him much good. And he uses his Timberwatch elf is obviously pretty horribly bugged at this point. I am playing it on the highest difficulty, I think, as well, so I don't understand why the computer's playing like this. But, you know, computer unable to play Magic the Gathering in Shocker. And good game. Yeah, you're dead. Very, very dead. And we get Nissa's deck, so wonderful. So that is the expansion campaign completely taken care of. Because I've already fought the two other planeswalkers. So that is the expansion campaign done. So next time I will come back with the Sliver deck for one final time, and I will take on all of the original planeswalkers from the original campaign. So thanks very much for watching, guys. This is Boomer for Caravel Gaming, and I will see you next time.